That's what you're in the industry. Man, it's pretty rare. People don't actually say it. They ever come and say, how do I get optimized from found on Facebook? Because I'll be honest, as much as I hate Facebook, it seemed to me I would probably try to be found there. Right? Think about how huge of a demographic that is. The amount of people you can reach if you're optimizing in order to be found on giant social networks. What's the number one searched engine in the world? What search engine is used more than any other search engine? Huh? YouTube. YouTube is the number one search engine in the world, right? We should be spending more time figuring out how to optimize on YouTube. How important video is. People want to hear things, people want to see things, want to read things. These are all part of our senses. And all this stuff is very important. And it's all about understanding what happens beyond your website, all the other factors that are about driving traffic. It's really what it's about is getting found. It's about driving traffic. It's about enabling people to hear your story, come to your website, know about your company, know about your product, know about your service, and bottom line, make a sale, right? So forget about SEO. Because if you're not doing things like this, and this is where we're going to kind of change topic, if you're not really involved in content creation, then you're not really doing SEO. And that's content of all kinds. Whether it's blogging, it's forums, it's case, whatever. There's a million examples. I'm actually getting ahead of myself right now. We're going to go through some of those examples. But if you're not creating content, you're not doing SEO, you're not doing a very good job of being found. Okay? So let's talk about real quickly some basics when it comes to content optimization. You know, you need to decide what kind of content it is that you need to produce, right? Quite often, and at least it's from my experience of years of working in agencies, years of my own business and now refounding and redoing and starting my own company is, the amount of clients that I talk to, the amount of people I see that are making this very mistake. It's like they don't even know what kind of content they should be creating. It's your company, it's your business, right? How do you not know what it is you need to be writing about, right? So you sell, I don't know, hair care products for dogs, let's say. Believe it or not, it's kind of popular. How many people here have pets? Right? Does anyone use special products on their pets? Is this a bad example? Honestly, it just kind of popped in my brain on this. I remember seeing something recently about products for your pets and combing and anyways. I don't actually have pets anymore. I have kids, which is a lot more difficult. So hair care products for dogs. I don't want to go into this now. This should be interesting. This is where my marketing juices start flowing. Except I'm making up all the fun pitch you guys on why this is such a great idea. So if I'm going to sell products for dogs, right, I should know all about dogs for starters. So I should probably be writing content about dogs. Not just about products, but about the animals themselves. Things those animals do, what those animals like, the kinds of different owners that those different animals have, different breeds, what's good for one breed, what's good for other breeds, some stuff on science, some stuff on ethics, some things on morals, anything at all, any kind of content, and somehow comes back to dogs and breeding. Now we're really changed topics. And grooming. What's going through my mind? So you need to really decide on the kind of content you want to write, how many different kind of verticals you're going to need to choose from, right? To figure out what's best and what's going to be found. Because this is what's really important is once we figure out what kind of content we need, hopefully we figure this out, we can then figure out what's the best way to produce this. Do we create a bunch of 30-second videos that we put on YouTube where we have someone with a dog that's really cute, talking about how much they love their dog and the kinds of product they're using, to look how beautiful my dog is. Here's a before and after photo, right? Do we use this kind of stuff? Do we do case studies, right? Do we write white papers on this? Do we give some information that's from a more scientific point of view? Here's what the doctors say. Here's what the studies show. Here are the stats. Here are the numbers, right? Do we write blog posts? Do we write a series of blog posts? Do we start threads in different forms? Do we leverage pet communities that already exist? Start putting content in other communities. I sign up on dog communities and I talk about this really great, man, I found this really awesome product, with a link and send them there. Or do I be honest and I say, I work for this company, check out my product. You might get banned from the forum, but whatever. You can always ask the forum people in advance. There's lots of ways of doing it. But you need to figure out how you want to start producing this content. What this kind of content is going to go. And then you need to, this is the hard part, right? Of course, there's no guarantee, but you need to ensure it can be found easily. So now that I've created this content, now that I've decided the kind of content I want, I know how I'm going to produce this content. I now need to figure out how I'm going to make sure this content can be found. And this is where real marketing comes into it. It's not as much, it's SEO, it's marketing, it's everything, but this is determining how I'm going to get people buying this content. How much money, how much time I'm going to spend, right, on ensuring that people know this content exists. If I went with the video, for example, I put a video, right? I was having this discussion with someone earlier about this. It's like, so I create, let's say, a 3-minute video that talks about this. Then I repurpose 30 seconds of that video, and I repurpose 60 seconds of that video. And I take both the 30-second and the 60 seconds, and I use it in 3 or 4 different kinds of YouTube TrueView ads. So I've got 30-second ads, I've got 60-second ads. And I take that same video, and I put that on my blog post. I put it on my landing page. It has a campaign where I can direct people through PPC ads or whatever to a landing page. So I got this same video that I've repurposed 4 or 5 different times that's telling the same story, that has the same message, that can be found on various different channels, through various different demographics, but it's all pointing back to one place. The whole key, the whole goal, right, is to send traffic to one place where they're going to buy that product, right? So that's one way we can kind of ensure that it's going to be found by spreading across as many channels as possible. I think it was Alex that said that. What's his name, Alex? Anyway, someone said that this morning. And it's true. You need to do that. You need to spread across as many channels as possible. So today, SEO is all encompassing. This is what we're kind of talking about. So it's not really that I believe SEO is dead. I just believe that it's a misappropriated term. It's not exactly what we do. We need a new name. We need to figure out a better way of explaining what it is that we're doing for our clients, for ourselves, the various different facets that exist in order to do this. Because it really doesn't mean anything. It's really a bullshit term, right? It's a bullshit term like when people say innovative. We're innovative. We're innovating in this industry with our technology. That's bullshit. That's mean shit. What the hell does that mean? Yeah, we got this new product, man, and this software is so disruptive. We're disrupting. We're being disruptive. Find on the crunch base, into this, into that. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. You're not saying anything. And those are keywords, by the way. You don't ever use those keywords. Innovative, disruptive, technology, it's all bullshit. Hey, look, just tell it how it is, man. You can check it, try it yourself, you'll know. How many people agree with those bullshit terms? Okay, good, so we're aligned. So how? Off page efforts. This is really what's most important today, is all the things that you're doing off page. Do you like that? The internet's not just about pornography anymore. You can't read that, solve it out. If it wasn't focused, they would see my little joke about pornography and the internet. And by the way, that industry, adult entertainment, is probably the best SEO bullshit, right term, or whatever. That's a field that really knows how to market. They really drive traffic. It's also the oldest profession in the world. Whatever. So anyways, off-page efforts are absolutely essential. All of these things is what makes up a good bulk of our traffic at the end of the day. So it's not just about search engines, it's about all these other things that we've been talking about. Backlinking, how many people believe that that's still important, that it still needs to happen? Fucking A, it does. Sorry, I'm a bit of a fucker sometimes. I gotta kind of go with the flow. I shave my head, I have tattoos, I should probably swear when I'm up here. Because you know why? You're not gonna get it. Even if you hate me and disagree with me, you won't forget. That's good marketing, that's good SEO. I just deal myself right here. Article marketing, yeah. So some of you might hate this, but you know what? Actually, if it's done well, if it's done right, it works. So you probably don't want to necessarily go to one of those farming companies that just have 50 monkeys in a room writing articles all, and I apologize if any of you run companies like that or work in companies like that. But if you do this right, let's say I run a game company. Let's say my clients, let's say I have a client and they have a game and they're trying to sell the game. One of the things I'll probably suggest is, well, you guys are gamers, right? This is what you do. Why don't you write about that? Why don't you write about why your game is so freaking awesome? And the fact that you've won awards and this and that, and then get that posted on somebody else's site so that it links right back to you. Why don't you do that? Because it's genuine, it's honest. Yes, it's an article piece, it's advertising. People get that it's advertising, but it's also obvious when something is cheesy. You know what I mean? When Hair Club for Men. It didn't work. Do you guys remember Hair Club for Men? Hair Club for Men, I'm not just a member, I'm also come to Hair Club for Men. No one remembers that? I'm not that old, for fuck's sakes. Okay, Google it. You'll find it. Good SEO. Comments. You gotta be careful in this area because sometimes you can be doing bad things. Be careful how you do it, but commenting is very important. Commenting on other people's blogs, other people's forums, commenting on your own blogs, forums, etc. Very important. Yeah, 3 minutes. Holy shit. Which we already kind of went through. Case studies, which we talked about. Social media, you need to do it, but do. I don't believe in it a whole lot when it comes to SEO, but we'll talk about that later. Get posting media, depending if I run out of time or not. Forums, and of course white papers. Okay, this is the part I was talking about. We all know the whole black hat versus white hat, so I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. Just be careful what you do. But these are some of the things that you kind of want to stay away from. Keyword stuffing, visible text, web pages, spam indexing, whatever. There's a lot of shit that you don't want to do. And don't lie, I know there's people in here that are doing that kind of stuff right now, but at some point it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Because Google's getting smarter, people are getting smarter, and they're getting tired of this. Just like at some point telemarketing finally died a bit. I mean, they're still out there, but it's not a whole lot of telemarketing. At some point, people got fed up, phone companies got fed up, everybody got fed up with telemarketing. So there's not a whole lot of it happening the way it used to happen. It's the same with this. At some point, it's going to stop. And honestly, you can do all the things I just said and never break the rules. You don't have to break the rules in order to have good content. But what you need to do is have a whole lot of patience and other stuff. So I just want to do a real quick, look, I don't even have a microphone here, he's buzzing. It's all the energy coming off of me. I'm just exuding an aura. So I just want to, my fonts are all off, by the way, because I made the biggest mistake ever as a designer, which is not supplying the fonts with my presentation when I gave it to him. And it bugs me because that it should not be there. It just really bugs me that it's on the wrong line. Anyways, so just a quick word on social media. My opinion of social media is this. This is the field I come from, years and years of doing this professionally. Social media is great. Really, it's about building, engaging, and supporting communities. That's what social media is really meant for. Not to say that it can't generate leads or sales, not to say that it can't do good SEO and all the rest, but don't rely on it. It's one thing, and if it happens, great. And if you can leverage it in some way because you get lucky, great. Move up the momentum, but don't make that a place to start. Because people who fail at SEO are all people who tweet their faces off on Twitter all day long. And then nobody sees anything that they're talking about, and nobody clicks on their links, and then blah, 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 blah. It's true. I know. I tweet all the time. I'm saying. So this is why I put this in here, because I strongly believe, much as I love Twitter, it is by far the worst when it comes to SEO. Quick example, this is based on a real case study. So 5,000 followers tweets this presentation, 11 people click on that link. That's a point. See, my fonts are fucked up. Not 2%. 0.2, it's a lot worse. 0.2% CTR. That's shit. I'm sorry, that's crap. So what's the point, right? No one's really paying attention. It's a whole lot of noise on Twitter. Again, Twitter's good for a lot of things, but don't rely on it. You get lucky, and that's fine. So some quick tips to end this off at zero. I'll be real quick, guys. Sorry. Screw up your whole schedule. Had to happen. Patience. It takes time, so build good SEO. It takes time to build good SEO. Always think about the value of your content. Always consider the relevance of your content. Social media is good, but you don't want to rely on it as it's not a proven SEO strategy. And fire anyone who calls himself an SEO or SMO expert. Just fire them. No one's an expert in that area. And you'll see it after 3 months. You'll be paying these guys, and what the fuck have you done for it? Nothing. Just a little, because this is what I do. I market. Come check this out. We've got other events. Sorry, guys, I have to put the slide in there. Startup Marketing 101. We're a fringe event for Startup Fest in July. We're doing a 45-minute session on tips for marketing. If you have a startup, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business, you want to learn more, come check this out. Come check me out. Brendan, I got stickers. Slide will be up. Follow me. I'm out of time. I'm over. They're angry. I gotta leave. It was nice knowing you all.